Dear Mr. Richard Branson, this is with reference to your flight from Heathrow to Mumbai on the 12th of October 2011. My flight club number is 00659759999. Richard, I love your brand. I really do. Your airline as well, which is why I continue to fly with you despite a series of rather unfortunate incidents over the last few years. This latest incident, however, just takes the cake. Ironically, Richard, by the end of the flight, I would have gladly paid more than 1,000 rupees for a single slice of any cake following the culinary journey of hell that I was subjected at the hands of your corporation. Look at this, Richard. No. Just look at this. I imagine the same questions are racing through your brilliant mind as were racing through mine on that fateful day. What is this, Richard? What have I done to deserve this? Why have I been given it? And for the love of God, Richard, which one is the starter and which one is the dessert? Now I know you don't seem to get to a position like yours with anything less than a generous sprinkling of observational power. So I know that you would have noticed the tomato next to the two yellow sharp sponge on the left. No, Richard, they do not look like paneer. At least not paneer prepared this month. And yes, the tomato is next to the sponge shaft without the blob of green chutney. That's got to be the clue, isn't it? So the other dish, then, clearly, has to be the dessert. Now answer me this, Richard. If the other one is the dessert, then what sort of an animal would serve a dessert with peas in it? Yes, I know. It does look something like a bhaji. Yes? But it seems to be lying on some custard. And since that's custard, then that's got to be the dessert. Will you be fascinated to hear it wasn't custard? It was some sort of a sour souffle with a pool of clear oil on top. And its only redeeming feature was that it managed to be so completely alien to my palate that it took away the taste of boot polish generated by our unidentifiable custard impersonating blob of beige matter. Perhaps the meal on the left might be the dessert after all. Anyway, you know, Richard, I was brought up to finish everything on my plate. Or at least to try it. So I contained my rising bile and decided to see what else was provided. So let's just peel back the tin foil from the main dish and see what else is on offer. Let me try to explain to you how this felt. Just, Richard, imagine that you're a 9-year-old boy. Imagine it's Christmas morning in a household that simply lies about tooth fairies and Santa Claus, and you're sitting there just about to open your final present. You know what it is? It's that big one. It's that PlayStation 3 that you've been dreaming about for so long, which you wrote to Santa about. Only when you open the present, it's not in there. It's your puppy, Richard. It's your puppy, Leo, in the box, and he's not breathing. That's how I felt when I peeled back the tin foil and saw this. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the sergeant fool you, and this here is the real thing. This here is the custard, wrapped in foil and warm. But custard? But no! Once again, Richard, it's not custard, it's mustard. Mustard, Richard! More mustard than any man could consume in a single month. even in Bengal. So, on the left you have a piece of what might have at some stage in its life been broccoli. Although I suspect it was actually a piece of cauliflower, way past its expiry date. and some capsicum floating in a brown oil that looked and smelled like turpentine. And on the right, the chef had prepared some mashed potatoes. Obviously, the potato masher had broken because it was decided that the next best thing would be to pass the potatoes through the digestive tract of a pigeon. And once the potatoes had passed through the unfortunate pigeon system, it was then clearly blended and mixed with a bit of mustard. Now everyone likes a bit of mustard, Richard, but my God! Yes, I was exhausted. All I wanted to do was just relax. But I had to sit there with that mess in front of me for half an hour. I swear to you, Richard, at one point your sponge shafts moved. And once it was cleared, I thought I could amuse myself with some of your onboard entertainment. Yes. I switched it on. An important issue-based interview of some sort. I do apologize for the quality of the photos. Oh, it's just that it was, incredibly hard to capture the man's face through the flickering white lines running up and down the screen. Yes? Oh, perhaps it could be better? You think on another channel? Yes? Is that Sanjay Dutt, Richard? That's a question I found asking myself over and over again through that grueling half hour that I attempted to watch the film like this. By now I was actually beginning to feel a little lightheaded. Yes, I needed a sugar hit. Oh, luckily there was a small biscuit provided. It had caught my attention earlier due to its baffling presentation. It appears to be in an evidence bag from the scene of a crime. A crime against bloody cooking, Richard. But I decided to be brave, not to judge this particular book by its cover. So I extracted it from the bag with a pair of tweezers which I keep handy, and I tried it. Imagine biting into a piece of brass. Even that would be softer on the teeth than the specimen provided. After that, I just switched off. I'd had enough. I was the hungriest I'd been in my adult life, and I had a splitting headache from squinting at a crackling screen. And the only option I had was to just sit there and stare at the seat in front of me and wait for either food or sleep. Neither came. For an incredibly long period of time. Let me tell you, but when it did, it surpassed even my wildest expectations. Yes. It is another crime-scene biscuit. Only this time you might be meant to dip it in that white stuff. Now that white stuff looked like it was going to be yogurt. But it had a peculiarly pungent smell, like cottage cheese gone bad, which is strange because cottage cheese is milk gone bad. Anyway, it finally dawned on me that it was actually a mixture between your bhaji custard and the mustard sauce. It reminded me of one of my first college house parties. I'd heard that you could actually make a drink by mixing chips and Monaco biscuits and vodka in a big bowl. And when I attempted to make that drink in a big bowl, it formed a cheese, Richard, a cheese. And that very complex mixture looked a hell of a lot like what I was expecting to dip my brass biscuit in. So that meant I never ate a bloody thing! Now, my only question is, how can you live like this? I cannot imagine what dinner would be like in your place. It would be like something out of a nature documentaries. As I said at the start, Richard, I love your brand. Yes, your airline as well. But it's such a shame that such a simple thing like this could bring it crashing down to its knees and begging for sustenance. Sincerely yours, Rajesh Khanna.